Welcome back, everyone, for another deep dive. Today, we're going to be looking at something a little bit different,
Yeah,
and I'm really excited about this one.
me too.
We're going to be looking at a novel, Mad Money by Max Allan Collins.
Right?
And I think this is a great opportunity for us to look at character
Absolutely.
in a way that we don't normally get to because we're usually focused on
Right.
real-world events and real-world people.
Yeah, we can do a deep dive into the psychology of a fictional character and really peel back the layers and understand motivations and choices and that kind of thing.
Yeah, and I think with this particular character, it's going to be a lot of fun
Oh, yeah, this is a great one.
because we're dealing with a character named Nolan,
Mm-hmm.
who is a former mob enforcer,
Right.
but he has gone straight,
So-called?
so-called, right? And
Yeah.
he's got this, this life as a legitimate businessman.
Seems to have it all.
He seems to have it all. He's got a nice
Mhm.
restaurant, nightclub. He's got a younger girlfriend, a beautiful younger girlfriend, and
Yeah.
he's living the good life.
Absolutely, the fruits of his labor, quote unquote, right?
Right, but
Yeah.
there's this, sense that
Is he really reformed, or is there
I-
still this darkness?
is there still a darkness lurking, below the surface?
Yeah. Is he haunted by his past?
Yeah.
How does he really feel about this new life? Is all a performance?
Right. And
We get into all that.
yeah, and that's what's so interesting is how does a guy like this function? He's playing golf with the very people
Oh, yeah.
who, whose businesses he used to help the outfit control.
Yeah, we see him in the first couple pages
Yeah.
playing golf at this very swanky country club.
Right. Yeah.
And it's interesting because, like, in the background, you can hear these construction sounds. And he's thinking about,
Right.
how he used to go and lean on these developers
Right.
to make sure that they, follow the outfit's, edicts. And now he's out there golfing with these guys.
Yeah. It's an interesting
It's just strange juxtaposition.
juxtaposition. Yeah. I love that word. It's one of my favorite words. Juxtaposition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it really applies here,
It does.
for sure.
And then things, are going along swimmingly. And then this guy, Cole Comfort, comes into the picture.
Right. Cole Comfort,
Yeah.
who is
Yeah. He's a piece of work.
is a piece of work.
This is really where the story kicks off.
Yeah. And this is where we start to see
Yeah.
some of those cracks in the facade.
Cracks in that facade. Absolutely.
Yeah, because Cole Comfort proposes this
Right.
audacious plan to rob the entire Brady 80 mall.
I mean, the scope of this heist is incredible.
Yeah.
They're talking about bringing in
Yeah.
multiple crews, semi-trucks to haul all the loot away. I mean, it's just
Amazing.
a massive undertaking.
And he's like, we're talking about, jewelry stores,
Yeah.
the bank,
Of course.
an ATM, everything.
Yeah, they even talk about hitting the pet store for the cash in the register. I mean, they are.
Leaving no stone unturned.
Yes. So, and Nolan's like,
Well, at first he's very reluctant.
reluctant. Yeah, he's like, I don't know about this.
He wants nothing to do with it.
Hmm.
But of course, Cole Comfort is very persuasive.
Well, and he's got a way of, sort of
Oh, yeah.
sucking people in.
He's charismatic in a very kind of menacing way.
Yeah.
He's not someone you want to say no to.
Right.
But as Nolan starts to hear the details, you can see his mind working.
Yeah.
That analytical mind, he's already starting to think about the logistics, the angles.
The meticulous planner.
Absolutely. It's like a
Okay.
puzzle he can't resist trying to solve.
Yeah, so he's got that going on, and then he's got...
Right. And to pull this off,
Yeah.
Comfort's assembled quite a crew.
Yeah, talk about the crew.
We got Roger Winch, the safecracker,
Yeah,
who, he's a real artist,
right.
takes pride in his work.
Yeah.
Then there's Phil Dooley, the locksmith. He's got a bit of a gambling problem.
Yeah, always in trouble.
Always in trouble, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you got the Leach brothers.
Oh, the Leach brothers.
Three knuckle draggers
Yeah.
provide the muscle.
Yeah, the brawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a very interesting group of guys.
Yeah, it's like a criminal dream team,
It is, yeah.
each with their own, quirks and motivations.
Yeah.
And that's where I think Collins really shines as a writer.
Hmm.
He takes these, what could be stock characters,
Yeah.
a safecracker, the muscle,
Right.
and he gives them depth. He gives them personality.
Right.
Like even Cole Comfort, who's, clearly the villain of the piece.
Right.
There's something compelling about him,
There is.
He's got this twisted sense of family loyalty
Yeah.
that makes him almost sympathetic at times.
Almost.
Almost.
And then, of course, his son, Lyle Comfort,
Oh, why?
who is
Yeah.
a real piece of work.
He's a study in contradictions.
Yeah.
1 minute, he's capable of real brutality.
Right.
And the next, he's like a child,
Yeah.
just blindly following his father's orders.
Right.
It's kind of sad.
Yeah. And then there's Cindy Lou Comfort,
Right.
who is Cole Comfort's daughter.
Yeah, she's caught in the middle of this dysfunctional family.
Yeah, and, kind of yearning for something better.
Yearning for a different life.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because, in a way, she's kind of a parallel to Sherry.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Nolan's girlfriend. They both come from very different worlds, but they're both looking for escape.
Yeah, they're both looking for a way out.
A way to define their own destinies.
Right.
And it really makes you think about the limitations that are placed on women, even in these very different social circles.
Yeah, I mean, Sherry's, she's got all the material comforts.
Yeah.
But she's also in this kind of gilded cage.
Right. She's very aware of her role in Nolan's life.
Right.
She's the beautiful younger girlfriend.
The trophy girlfriend.
Yeah. And she uses that to her advantage. But there's also a sense that she wants more.
Yeah.
That she's not content to just be arm candy.
Right. And then, of course, Comfort decides to use Sherry as leverage.
That's a turning point.
He kidnaps her
to
force Nolan's cooperation.
Brutal tactic, but very effective.
Yeah.
It really raises the stakes.
Yeah.
Suddenly, it's not just about money anymore.
Right.
It's about survival.
Yeah.
It's about protecting the woman he loves.
Yeah. And it's interesting because...
And for Sherry...
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
She's suddenly confronted with the reality of this world.
Right.
The violence that underpins it all.
Right.
She's not in control anymore.
Yeah.
She's completely vulnerable.
Yeah. And then we have John, who comes into the picture.
Right.
Who's Nolan's former protege.
Yeah, John's an interesting character.
He is.
He's kind of straddling that line
Yeah.
between the criminal world and legitimate life.
Yeah. He's trying to make it as an artist.
Right. He wants to leave his past behind.
But he gets pulled back in.
Yeah. His loyalty to Nolan.
Right.
And his concern for Sherry.
Right.
Put him right in the middle of this mess.
Yeah.
And then there's Cindy Lou.
Yeah.
Who he forms this unlikely alliance with.
Yeah, they kind of team up. Yeah.
It's a classic case of opposites attract.
Yeah.
But there's a real tenderness.
There is, yeah.
In their interactions.
Yeah, and they see in each other that desire to break free.
Yeah. They both want something more
Yeah.
than the lives that have been laid out for them
Right.
by their families.
Yeah, so we've got, Nolan, who's trying to, he's got his past.
Right.
He's trying to deal with this heist.
Yeah.
He's got Sherry, who's been kidnapped.
And he's got comfort breathing down his neck.
Right.
Making sure that he stays in line.
Yeah, it's a
powder keg.
It is a powder keg about to explode.
Ready to blow.
Yeah. So where do we go from here?
Well, as the heist gets closer,
Yeah.
things get even more complicated.
Oh, I bet.
Betrayals, double crosses.
Oh, yeah.
Unexpected twists.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a wild ride.
Yeah. Okay, I can't wait to hear more about it.
All right, let's get into it.
Let's do it. Okay, so last time we were talking about how Mad Money is kind of like a powder keg. All these characters and their motivations are about to explode.
Oh, absolutely. It's building towards this massive heist, and everyone's got their own agenda.
Yeah. And speaking of agendas, I wanted to circle back to something you mentioned earlier about Nolan's past.
Oh, yeah.
And how those flashbacks we get throughout the novel, they really give us these insights into how he became the man he is today.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Those glimpses into his time with the outfit, they're not just backstory. They're like psychological puzzle pieces. You know, we see him learning the ropes from Sid Teiser.
Yeah.
Witnessing the brutality and the betrayals, a crash course in the mob's way of doing business.
Yeah, and there's that one scene that I keep thinking about, the one with George Franco.
Oh, yeah.
Where Nolan basically uses his knowledge of the outfit's inner working to, talk his way out of a really dangerous situation.
Oh, he's so cool under pressure.
Right.
He doesn't just react. He thinks strategically. He uses Franco's own weaknesses against him.
Yeah, it's like...
It's chilling, but also kind of impressive.
It's impressive. Yeah, it's like, he's trying to go straight, but he's still got that
edge.
That edge, yeah, that
predator instinct.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder how much of his so-called reformation is real and how much is just performance. Yeah, is he actually haunted by what he did in the past, or is he just playing a different game now?
And that's what makes Nolan such a compelling character.
Yeah.
He's this walking contradiction. He can be tender one minute and ice cold the next.
Right, and even those nightmares he has about that woman from his past.
Yeah.
They suggest that there's this guilt that he hasn't really dealt with.
Right, this darkness lurking beneath the surface.
And speaking of women, and their complexities.
Yeah.
Sherry, you know, Nolan's girlfriend, she's not just a passive damsel in distress.
Oh, no, not at all.
She's very aware of her power, her sexuality, and she uses it.
Yeah, she's playing the game, too.
Yeah.
She understands her role in Nolan's life.
Yeah.
And she's not afraid to use it to her advantage.
Right. There's that scene where she confronts John.
Oh, yeah.
About his attraction to her.
Yeah, she's not naive.
And she acknowledges it.
Yeah, she's totally aware of the effect she has on men.
He's just saying, I know you want me, but I'm off limits.
Don't even try it.
Right. But then, of course, she gets kidnapped, and suddenly, that agency is stripped away.
Yeah, it's a brutal reminder of how quickly things can change.
Right, and how dangerous this world really is.
Even for someone like Sherry, who seems to have it all,
Yeah, and for Nolan, it's like...
triggers something primal in him.
Yeah.
He's not just thinking about strategy anymore. He's driven by this need to protect her.
Yeah.
To save her.
It's like all those years of being an enforcer come rushing back.
Absolutely. And for John, it's a real dilemma.
Yeah, because he's torn.
Torn between his loyalty to Nolan and his concern for Sherry.
And then you throw Cindy Lou into the mix.
Oh, yeah.
Who becomes his confidant, his partner in crime.
Yeah, it's a strange alliance.
It is.
But it works.
Yeah.
I mean, they need each other.
Yeah, she needs his help to escape her family. He needs information about the heist.
And about Sherry. And there's this real connection that develops between them.
Yeah, it's more than just a transactional relationship.
Way more. I mean, they find solace in each other.
Right.
They understand what it means to be trapped.
Yeah.
To want something more.
And Cindy Lou's role is so interesting because she's not just John's love interest. She's, she becomes a key player.
She's smart. She's resourceful.
Yeah.
She uses her knowledge of her family's operation to help John and Nolan.
Right.
I mean, her decision to betray her own family is huge. It shows how desperate she is to escape.
Yeah, and it makes you think about loyalty.
Oh, yeah.
Is it about blood or is it about choosing what's right, even if it means going against your family?
It's a question that comes up a lot in the novel.
Yeah.
You see different forms of loyalty playing out.
Yeah, Nolan's loyalty to Sherry, John's loyalty to Nolan.
Right.
Cindy Lou's struggle with her family.
It's complicated.
It's really complicated. And as we head into the climax of this heist, those choices become even more difficult.
Oh, yeah.
And the stakes get higher.
The tension is palpable.
It is.
You can just feel it ratcheting up.
Yeah. I'm almost afraid to see what happens next.
Oh, it's going to be a wild ride.
Okay, well, let's buckle up and dive in.
Let's do it.
Okay, so we're on the edge of our seats here. The heist is about to go down.
This is it. At the moment of truth.
All these characters with their secrets and their agendas.
It's all going to come to a head.
Yeah, it's like a house of cards waiting to collapse.
Exactly one wrong move, and the whole thing comes crashing down.
And it feels like there are going to be a lot of wrong moves.
Oh, yeah. There's no way this goes smoothly.
So take us inside that mall. Walk us through what happens.
All right, so picture this. It's the night of the heist. The mall's closed. Everyone's gone except for our crew, and they're all in position. Roger Winch is working on the vault of the jewelry store.
Okay.
Phil Dooley's cracking the locks on the back doors.
Right.
The Leach brothers are ready to provide muscle if needed.
Yeah, Nolan.
Nolan's the mastermind. He's coordinating everything.
Okay.
Making sure everyone's where they need to be.
Right.
Keeping an eye on the security cameras.
Yeah, he's trying to keep it all together.
But, of course, things start to go wrong almost immediately.
Well, yeah, that's what we were expecting, right?
Exactly. I mean, this is a heist. There's always going to be complications.
But what happens? What's the first thing that goes sideways?
Well, first, Phil Dooley, the locksmith.
Yeah.
He gets spooked. Yeah. He starts thinking about his gambling debts. And how if he gets caught, he's going back to prison.
Right.
And he just panics.
What does he do?
He tries to make a run for it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but the Leach brothers catch him.
Oh.
And let's just say it doesn't end well for Phil.
Okay, so one down.
Yeah, and that's just the beginning.
Oh, boy.
Then there's Roger Winch, the safecracker.
Yeah.
He runs into a problem with the vault.
What kind of problem?
It's more complicated than he anticipated. It takes him longer than expected.
All right.
Which throws off the whole timing of the heist.
Yeah, because they're on a schedule, right?
Exactly. Every minute counts.
So now they're behind schedule.
They're behind, and people are getting nervous.
Yeah, but...
The tension's rising, and then Cole Comfort starts to unravel.
What do you mean?
He gets paranoid.
Okay.
Starts thinking that someone's going to betray him.
Oh, so he's not just a ruthless criminal. He's also
Yeah.
kind of crazy.
Yeah, he's definitely got some screws loose.
So what does he do?
He starts making rash decisions.
Like what?
Like deciding to kill Roger Winch.
What?
Even though he's the one who could open the vault.
Yeah. Comfort's logic is that if they get caught, Winch can identify them.
Wow, so he's willing to sacrifice
a
key member of his crew just to
protect himself.
protect himself.
Absolutely.
That's cold.
Ice cold.
So how does Nolan react to all this?
Well, he's trying to hold everything together.
Yeah.
But he's also got his own agenda.
Right. He's got to save Sherry.
Exactly. And he's working behind the scenes to make that happen. John's caught in the middle.
Yeah.
Trying to help Nolan while also
keeping Cindy Lou safe.
Exactly. He's torn between his loyalties.
And his feelings for Cindy Lou.
Yeah. It's a tough spot to be in.
Yeah. So it sounds like everything's completely falling apart.
Oh, yeah. It's total chaos.
So how does it all end?
Well, let's just say there are a lot of double crosses.
Oh, I bet.
Shootouts.
Yeah.
Explosions.
Wow.
And in the end, not everyone makes it out alive. Wow. So who survives this whole mess?
Well, Nolan and Sherry escape.
Okay.
Jan and Cindy Lou manage to get away.
Right.
But Cold Comfort?
Yeah.
He doesn't make it.
How does he go out?
Ironically, he's killed by his own son, Lyle.
What? Wow.
Yeah, Lyle finally snaps.
Yeah, after years of abuse, I guess.
Yeah, he just couldn't take it anymore.
So the patriarch is taken out by his own flesh and blood.
That's right. It's a fitting end for a man like Cold Comfort.
Yeah, kind of poetic justice.
You could say that.
So what happens to everyone after the heist?
Well, Nolan and Sherry disappear.
Okay.
They go into hiding with their share of the loot.
All right, so they get away with it.
They do, but they have to leave everything behind.
Yeah, I guess you can't really go back to your normal life.
Not after something like this.
What about John and Cindy Lou?
They head west.
Okay.
Hoping to start a new life together.
Yeah, away from all the chaos.
Exactly.
So it's not a happy ending, exactly, but
no.
At least some of them get a chance at something different.
A fresh start. But they'll always be haunted by what happened.
Yeah, I guess you can't really escape your past completely. It has a way of catching up with you.
Oh, that's a chilling thought to end on.
Yeah, but it's the truth.
I think this deep dive into Mad Money has really given us a lot to think about.
Oh, definitely. It's a story about greed and betrayal. Yeah. And the choices we make when faced with impossible situations.
And the consequences of those choices.
Absolutely. And it makes you wonder, what would we do in those circumstances?
Right. Would we be able to resist the temptation of easy money?
Or would we succumb to the darkness?
And even if we did make it out alive, could we ever truly escape the shadows of our past?
It's a question worth pondering.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for taking us on this journey.
My pleasure. It's been a wild ride.
It has. And for our listeners out there, keep those questions swirling in your mind and join us next time for another deep dive.